So just take a few moments to settle in, to feel into where you're at right now. Maybe you just soften the body a little bit. You relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax the back of your head. And just use these few moments to let go a little bit, right? Let go of anything you were carrying into this moment. Let go of the need to make this moment any specific way. We're just dropping into what our experience is right now. So if that's contractions in your body, in your back, in your head, anywhere in your body, then we just touch into that by seeing that it's already there. We don't need to do anything to this experience. If there's thoughts, then we just acknowledge that thinking is happening. Thoughts are appearing. We try to realize that the stories are not so important. Right? Whatever specifically might be playing out, whatever thoughts might be coming and going, we realize that we don't need to pay so much attention to the content, to the narratives. We don't need to fix them, but we don't need to hold on to them so strongly, which is what the mind believes. Believes that if I don't notice the next thought with full attention, something bad's going to happen. Right? So we stay running on the thought treadmill. But what if we don't need to hold on to thoughts and we also don't need to get rid of them? Whatever thought comes is just that, just another thought. Whether it's about the past, something that's happened, something that you're carrying into this moment, something that you're trying to fix, something that you're trying to heal, something that you're trying to get rid of, something that's been bothering you, might have an emotional flavor, might have a mood, something that you hoping will be cleared from your life in this container, in this work we're going to do together. Just notice that's a thought about the past, and it's innocent, right? It's fine, but you can just see that, that's a thought as well. Or it could be about the future. Where are we going with this? I wonder what the rest of the container is going to be like. I wonder if this is worth it. I wonder if I made the right decision. Or maybe I'm excited. Anything, right? I have to do this later. I have to get to something. And we just see it. That's also a thought, right? And a great way to know what's a thought is it happening right now? And even descriptions about what is happening right now can also be thoughts, right? I'm on a Zoom call, I'm listening to a meditation. Um, and then we get the thoughts that are become about the exploration itself. I wonder if I'm doing it right. Am I getting the most out of this meditation? Am I noticing thoughts, or am I getting lost in thoughts? Am I letting go of thoughts? Am I holding on to thoughts? How do I know which one's right, which one's wrong? Um, that's like the next layer of thought that we start to notice is this doubt um, around doing it correctly, experiencing it correctly. So, but those are all just thoughts as well. The same way I thought around, I want to have lunch in 4 hours time. It's got nothing to do with what's actually happening right now. So those thoughts around doubt are just an experience that is happening right now. The content of it is irrelevant. So whatever the thoughts are saying truly doesn't matter. It's not to say we need to fight with the thoughts, but it's to say that it truly doesn't matter what your mind is saying about you, what it's saying about where you're at in your life, how healed you are, how awake you are, how deep you are in this process. All of this happens despite of thoughts, not because of thoughts, right? Healing and awakening happens despite of what the thoughts are saying, not because of what the thoughts are saying. And the thoughts are not left out of this, but there's so much identity tied into thinking. That's where, if I could say there's a problem, which there isn't really, but that's where the experience of struggle, of suffering comes in, is in when our identity gets tied into the thinking, into the thought process. Into endlessly having to believe what the mind is saying. So that's where this letting go comes in, which you might have heard me speak about before. This willingness to let go. So I don't really know what it is to let go of thoughts, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to surrender. I'm willing to notice when I get lost in thought and just be curious about. So if everything I notice in my mind is just a thought, well, what's not a thought? And then thoughts will try to answer that question. Thoughts will come and say, is this a thought? Is that a thought? Right. But it's just this curiosity, right? This openness, this um, willingness to let go of it. So let's just explore this a bit, just see what happens when we just sit in this space. And we don't try to change it. And we just allow ourselves to let go a little bit more. And again, letting go isn't a mental strategy that you have to get right. It's an invitation. It's an intention. The intention is to let go, and the mind will say whatever it says. And if something comes up that's a little bit uncomfortable, we can just soften a little bit and say, what if I didn't have to get rid of that? What if I could just soften my body, unclench wherever I'm clenching? And just what if I didn't have to push that away? It's allowed to be here. It doesn't need to be fixed. It doesn't need to be changed. Whatever it is, anything that comes up that might feel a little bit uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable. Sensations in the body, maybe an emotion that we don't want to feel, maybe a specific thought that feels like a thought that we shouldn't be having. That's the thought I need to get rid of. That's the thought that's the problem. That's the thought that's keeping me stuck. What if you just allowed it? And allowing doesn't mean anything complicated. It just means you stop fighting it. You stop trying to get rid of it. This is where the word surrender is quite apt, because it's not a strategy. It's a surrender that, okay, if this is what's here, then you know what, I'm going to let it be here. I'm going to let myself feel it, that thing I haven't been allowing myself to feel. That emotion, that thought, that sensation. What if it's not wrong to feel it? What if you're not wrong for experiencing it? And it could be anything, right? It could be quite intense, or it could be just a bit of boredom, a slight little bit of restlessness. Just a little bit of, when is this going to end? Maybe, I don't know if I can sit this long. Or maybe it's that, oh, wow, I'm dropping into like some deep anxiety or fear. Either one, we just get curious. What is this really? And what does it mean to open up to it a little bit? To not see it as a problem, even if the resistance is there as well. But the resistance itself is allowed. And it won't last forever, but it might stretch us a little bit sometimes. Stretch what we believe that we can feel or what we believe that we can allow. Will just come outside of what we think that capacity is and show us that our capacity is greater, that there's more space than you realize, and that you don't create the space because that experience is already here. There's just a little belief saying this is too much. But it's already allowed. You don't allow it. You just stop believing that it's not allowed. Experience already totally encompasses everything. Every thought, every sensation, every mood, every emotion, every part of you is fundamentally already allowed. We're just letting go of the stories and the belief systems that suggest otherwise, that create the struggle for us. So you don't need to do anything to earn your healing or your awakening. To learn how to allow, to let go. You can't earn it. And that confuses the mind, but it's also a relief because you're off the hook. This is not about doing more, being better, or getting it right. It's just about relaxing into the fact that everything is already held, everything is already taken care of, even if it doesn't always feel like it, even if the mind suggests, how can that be the case if I'm experiencing this or that? That's a part of it as well. That's allowed as well. So what if exactly what you're experiencing right now is perfectly okay? What if exactly where you are in your life right now is perfectly okay? What if the exact way that this experience is unfolding is perfectly okay and just right and doesn't need to be controlled by your mind? So you just need to trust it a little bit more, because the mind will continuously suggest otherwise, come up with reasons why it's not okay. But the choice we have is, are we going to believe those thoughts entirely? Or are we going to realize that, okay, yeah, I see it. I see the resistance. I get caught up in it sometimes. Sometimes it's for a while. But what if those thoughts are just not true? What if that's just not the whole story? Mhm. So now we just be with the stillness for a little bit. And often the mind might feel like the silence is more uncomfortable, or nothing's really happening. But a lot happens in that space where we just stop. And you let the mind do whatever it wants to, say whatever it wants to, but to hold it lightly. You just don't have any expectations of what should or shouldn't be happening right now. What silent meditation should or shouldn't be like. It's simply a meeting of what is, and a seeing of what you don't want to be here, and seeing that that's perfectly okay. It's not wrong in any way at all. You're not wrong in any way at all. And whatever comes up, that's exactly what needs to come up right now. This is just a thought that believes otherwise, that thinks it knows better. And that thought is fine too. So that's what letting go is. It's this continuous deepening realization. I don't need to control what I feel. I don't need to know exactly what is right. What if I just let it unfold exactly as it wishes to, as it already is doing, and let it take me wherever it takes me in this moment and in life in general? What if I set the intention to live as authentically as possible, as truly as possible for me, and then see where does life take me? What happens? What experiences unfold without the need to have it all figured out on my side? So you don't need to hold on to any specific experiences, and you don't need to fix or change any specific experiences. What if you were to let life move through you however it wanted to? And in that letting go, you are completely taken care of. Life takes care of itself. So it's a massive relief. But sometimes that relief might feel like meeting something that we really haven't wanted to meet. But the relief is in meeting that, not fixing it, not running away from it, not changing it. in knowing that it's fundamentally okay to go there, to feel that. To trust yourself and to trust moment to moment experience. And as we leave this meditation, as it starts to come to an end, as you're going to go back to your own unique life and everything that comes with it. We just hold this question of what if everything that's unfolding moment to moment in every aspect of your life, completely outside of this, right? So when it doesn't feel like you're on this container exploring it in this way, what if the experiences you have, the people you meet, the family members that trigger you, the things that come in and challenge you and stretch you, what if that is also life meeting you, showing you something, asking you to let go of something? What if you just carry this sense of openness as much as you can into each experience? What would it be like if I just didn't go in resistance to what is happening? Moment to moment to moment. You can still choose to do what you want to, but it's like, what if I just didn't add this extra layer of resistance saying they shouldn't have said that, this shouldn't be happening, something should be different. And again, you can still choose what feels authentic. Maybe it means speaking up, expressing, saying, this is exactly what feels true to me. And then that's allowed to be received however it is by the other person. It doesn't mean staying silent. It means not resisting anything, whether that's something in you that needs to come out and be said, then you don't resist that. It's like, this is the truth. And this is what it means to let life live through you. If life wants to say something, then it will feel uncomfortable to resist that. And then also how life responds through another being, then that's just that as well. You don't need to control anybody. But the more you kind of let this authenticity, truth, kind of what genuinely feels true to you, the less it matters how anybody else responds. But if we still have wounds or resistance patterns, then those will come to the surface, and that's part of it as well. That's why the messiness of human interaction in life is very, very revealing. Revealing for all our little little ego patterns. So yeah, maybe just carry that with you into whatever experiences might come, and just be open. You never know what life has in store. Sometimes it might stretch you, and sometimes it might surprise you in its beauty. And it's like, wow, how did this come together without me even um, having to make it happen? I didn't have to force anything. That's just how life chose to arrange itself. But sometimes it might ask you to see something you don't want to see, or address something you don't want to address. But it's worth it, because there is an intelligence um, in this natural unfolding that is completely beyond the mind. It's completely beyond the little human intellect. So the more you surrender to it, the more fluidly life can unfold for you, not against you. It's only against the one that has an idea of what should or shouldn't be happening. Otherwise, it's always unfolding for you. But for all parts of you, even the ones you don't want to accept. But it's beautiful because they're already accepted. They're not left out of this. So I'll finish this off by saying, always, nothing is left out. All right. So we're at 9 o'clock there. If you have to go, yeah, feel free to. If I'll maybe answer a few questions if anybody has anything they want to clarify, or but you don't have to stick around. I'm going to stop the recording as well.